Good Sunday morning to you. Man, what a Saturday night it was at the NCAA tournament. It's 1:13 in the morning. Jonathan Thomas, nice enough to. Oh, you need to scoot up a little.
I need to scoot up
You
a
do
little
look.
bit.
You look like
Okay.
you're like almost
All
being
right,
held
that's
captive.
better. At least I can use this table now.
Texas loses in the NCAA tournament to number 14 Abilene Christian. Definitely the biggest tournament loss in Texas Longhorns basketball history, just from a seeding perspective. The number 3 seed going down to the number 14 seed. It's only the 22nd time in NCAA tournament history that has happened, where the 14 seed has beat the number 3 seed. I'm just going to let you go, and I'll pivot off of where you want to start, because it was shocking on so many different levels. When you look at the stats,
Yeah.
when you look at the situation that it is, Abilene Christian against Texas, but a loss is a loss. 53-52, Texas, their season is done just a week after winning the Big 12 tournament championship.
All right, well, here's where I'll start, Andrew. I'll start with a couple of conversations we've had on Facebook Live earlier this season. One of the things that I was saying that was an issue for Texas is when they play a team that's decent on the defensive end of the floor, let alone stellar on the defensive end of the floor, they struggle. They struggle a lot to get good shots, and that's been a problem for them all year. Said it, like I said it a couple of times on here before, and it was the case once again tonight. Abilene Christian, who they lead the nation when it comes to forcing turnovers. We noted that all this week. Shaka Smart talked about it. All the players talked about it heading into this game. They knew that Abilene Christian was going to bring it on the defensive end of the floor, and it was going to be tough. But the fact that Texas kind of fell into the same old traps with bad possessions, bad shots, turnovers. They turned the ball over 23 times, and Abilene Christian only turned the ball over 11. I mean, that kind of says it all right there. And what also says it all, speaking about the offensive production, is when you look at the numbers, field goal percentage-wise, you would think, oh, Texas not too bad. They shot 18 of 40. That's not terrible.
Not terrible, right?
But Abilene Christian shot 20 of 67. That's good for 29.9% from the field. But the thing is they got 27 more field goal attempts than Texas. So they were more aggressive. Even though they shot worse, they got enough opportunities, obviously, to give them the victory tonight. So that's been a problem for Texas all year. They just haven't been able to be consistent on the offensive end of the floor, get good shots, get things going to the basket. Something that Shaka Smart noted after the game, but he thought kind of in the final couple possessions, of course, the one that stands out is where Matt Coleman dished it out to Andrew Jones to give him the go-ahead three. In the final seconds. He liked the way that, they were able to get the ball in the middle of the floor. Matt Coleman was able to kind of do his thing in the middle of the floor, and he was saying that when they go back and look at the tape, that's going to be something that probably is going to be something that stands out to them that they wish they would have done more, was get the ball in the middle of the floor, against that Abilene Christian zone. They just couldn't really do that the rest of the way tonight.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So we're talking about this. Why didn't they make that adjustment in the game? And I'm not saying you have the answer, but that's what everyone's asking. Well, why would you not try a team that's so undersized, very good? I don't want to use the word scrappy. That has way too many different.
That's such a negative.
It does. And Abilene Christian deserved to be there. They deserved to win this game. They played the exact game that they wanted to play. They dictated this game.
They've done it all year. That's what I said. They've done it all year.
And maybe that's like the number 3 seed. Texas should not. They shouldn't be letting that team dictate the game. Why was this offense incapable of solving an Abilene Christian defense?
Just they panicked a lot. There were so many times when watching the game where, they would have out of control drives at the basket. When they would make it to the basket, take it to the basket, it'd be kind of out of control. They'd lose the ball. They weren't making clean catches on passes. and then also too, again, got to give credit to Abilene Christian. Every time Jericho Sims or someone would get a rebound, and there'd be three guys surrounding him, and he would just be kind of like, okay, like it's not an easy pass out when there's three defenders hanging over you. It's not an easy pass to make. But at this level, if you want to win, in the big dance, right? You got to be able to make those plays more often than not, and they weren't able to do that. One stretch that really stood out to me that I think won Abilene Christian the game, besides obviously the final minutes, right, was the beginning of the second half. Texas, they ended the half on a 6-0 run. They come out, Kai Jones hits two buckets, they put them up by 9, and 7 minutes later, Abilene Christian has a lead, 37-36, courtesy of Reggie Miller, number 10, not number 31.
There you go, nice.
Indiana Pacers. He should have been on the call. That would have been great. But Abilene Christian let Texas know right then and there at a moment where a lot of teams in the Wildcats position would have folded. They went on that run, and they came out looking good in the second half. A lot of teams would have said, you know what, we don't really know what to do. I mean, they're just too good. Abilene Christian adjusted, and they made plays, and they clamped down. I mean, they just clamped down on the defensive end of the floor, and it was pretty remarkable to see.
I wanted to get in before we left this point. When you're talking about the start of the second half, to me, what kept Abilene Christian in this game was the end of the first half. And we're talking about, Texas goes on a 6-0 run. Well, that 6-0 run started at 7 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah.
Texas only scored 6 points in the 7 minutes of the first half. So, Abilene Christian scores, they go up 23-22, and then for the last 7 minutes of that first half, there are 6 total points, all by Texas. Really.
But then when they come out in the beginning of the second half and they score 2 buckets, within 2 minutes, again, a lot of teams would have said, okay, they figured out something offensively, but they clearly did.
So
that's all.
And I agree. I just felt that if you hold a team scoreless for 7 minutes, you probably should be up by more than 5 going into halftime. And it's not apples to apples here, but obviously Abilene Christian's head coach is close friends with Chris Beard, and they have similar. It's a similar style, and it goes back to our conversation we had a couple weeks ago when Texas lost to Tech. It's you know what? Abilene Christian was not playing well, but when you look at the scoreboard, you're like, hey, we're only down by 5 here. It's really we're playing about as bad as we can play, and we're still really in this game. I think it was kind of like, hey, we're dealing with heavyweight punches here, but we're actually it's not really bothering us that much. I don't know where Texas goes from here. I don't. This was the season that was supposed to have everything. You had the blue chip recruit, the guy Greg Brown.
Only played 6 minutes, by the way,
and has been absent really since the issue at the NCAA or the Big 12 tournament where he kind of walked off the court against Texas Tech.
And I want to say real quick, I just took Greg Brown real quick. Shaka Smart was asked about Greg Brown and why he didn't play more, and he didn't evade the question, but he just pretty much said, we try to. We just were doing what we've done all year. Try to put the right pieces in at the right time for the situation that we're in, and so that was pretty much his answer. Which is, you can call it a non-answer if you want. I'm gonna let the folks in Facebook world and all that be the judge of that, but that was the answer. That, in case anyone's wondering. Well, what did he have to say about only playing, as you said, a blue chip guy who has been starting, he's been starting all year pretty much, had a good year by most accounts. Why did he only play 6 minutes in the first round of the NCAA tournament game against a 14 seed?
And when you get out-rebounded on the offensive glass, ESPN has it 20-5. Is that the final?
Yeah.
20-5. They were out-rebounded. Greg Brown has known to pull down some rebounds. He's known to be pretty physical in the middle there.
12 second chance point. Texas did not have 1 second chance point tonight, man. That's insane. if they did get an offensive rebound, they couldn't figure out a way to turn that into a bucket at any point all night.
That's all you got?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't. So to your original question,
No,
where do they go from here?
Where do the players go from here?
I don't know, because the thing.
Okay, we're back. I think we're back.
Okay.
I think we're back.
Okay.
Appreciate Chris Bennett is dropping just
I wanted
excellent
to
factoids
get
out
to the
here.
comments in a second.
And I
Whenever.
appreciate the no sound because I would not have seen that. So thank you.
This is why we like Facebook Live, though, because you can comment and we can all participate in this together.
Do you want? I'm gonna.
Hold
on. Let me go through some of the others, and then I'll just reel off several Chris Bennett great stats.
Shout out to CB.
There's a lot of speculation that this was Shaka's last game. Of course, when any sort of situation like this happens, then that's going to be the immediate thought.
Say this, Andrew, considering our history
with
these late night Facebook Lives after the season's over, I'm not saying anything. I have no idea what's going to happen.
For anyone that doesn't know, after Texas won the Alamo, why am I all... Man, it's getting wild out here.
It's not, I mean, it's not used to us being in here this late.
After the Alamo Bowl win, we said, oh, there's no way that Texas is getting rid of Tom Herman. No way that's happening. It was a disappointing season, but a strong finish. I'm not going there.
$7.1 million buyout.
That's right.
all I got to say about that.
That's right. And that for a program that has an okay basketball history and is fine, I don't see them shelling that out, especially after all the money that they just paid for all.
Exactly. Unless someone wants to go
football
all
coaches.
Indiana on them, some booster wants to take, pick up the
Well-
tab himself, his or herself.
And I'm not going to challenge. I'm assuming there's probably some booster out there that cares that much, maybe, to do that.
Yeah.
It's still a lot to get rid of a coach. All right, Chris Bennett, March 20, 2014 was the last time Texas won an NCAA tournament game. Jonathan, do you know who that game was against? Do you remember?
Yeah, yes, I do remember.
That's why I
Yes,
won.
I do remember.
It was Arizona State.
Yes. My alma mater. Go Devils always, though. But yeah,
And-
they didn't make it. Don't get me. We're not gonna talk about Bobby Hurley, are we?
No. We'll leave him out of it for now. We're talking about Greg Brown. No one and done at Texas has ever gotten out of the first weekend of the tournament. You can add Greg Brown to the list. Obviously, Kevin Durant lost to USC in the second round. That team is thinking back to that. Although I think USC, that was swaggy.
USC was a
They had
stacked-
Swaggy P.
Yeah, USC was a stacked team that year.
Yeah.
Too. That was a fun game. Those were two loaded teams, man.
And then he was talking about Miles Turner, obviously getting like no playing time under Rick Barnes.
It's just interesting, and you can just stop me here.
Yeah.
If you find something good. It's just interesting that, they just couldn't find someone to just really take over in this game. Someone just couldn't. Andrew Jones was trying. Of course, he hit the three, the go-ahead three. Courtney Ramey struggles a little bit tonight. Just kind of seemed a lot out of control at several points. It's just their guards. It was hard for their guards to really get going. Of course, they did what they could, but they could not really get going. Jericho Sims, though, I mean, I know it's a loss, but he was technically perfect. He didn't miss a field goal, didn't miss a free throw.
I'm glad you brought him up because he had the two dunks early.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not going to claim to know all the X's and O's of basketball, but I'm wondering what adjustment ACU made there or if it was an aptitude by Texas to not feature him more. Because then he didn't, like you said, he was perfect, but he only took, 3 shot attempts? Is that right?
3 field goal attempts.
That can't happen. That can't happen.
Or 4 free throws, excuse me, but yeah. This has happened before, though, where he's gotten off to a good start, and for some reason, the ball just gets taken out of his hands. And if he's not getting a rebound, he doesn't touch it. He doesn't see it. Again, I think, Abilene Christian's, zone, because in the beginning especially, Texas was kind of able to get behind the zone a little bit, especially early on when Jericho had the first dunk of the game, first points of the game, and, some other plays where he was able to score on it. They were able to kind of get behind the zone and do things that way, but they couldn't do it this time for some reason. And it is just shocking as far as just the way it just kind of was the same old story for Texas tonight. That was the thing that surprised me the most, is that it was like, wow, this thing's really coming up again. Huh? They can't really they can't get anything going again offensively. Like we saw, again, it's one thing when Tech does it to you. It's one thing when Baylor does it to you. Oklahoma State did it to them at points during the regular season. Of course, we know that they beat them in the tournament, but it's one thing when it's those teams. It's another thing when it's when it's a team where you do have a significant advantage, height-wise and talent-wise. That's no shade to Abilene Christian at all, because they certainly make up for it the way they play. I really like that Joe Pleasant dude, man. He was balling. Credit to him. 11 points, 8 rebounds. His shot is a little weird, but he got it done for them, and he was just everywhere. Again, I compared him to an old dude. He's clearly not old, but to an old dude at the Y. Like he plays a little funny, and he's all up in your grill all the time, but he gets things done. That old dude at the Y gets buckets, and so does Joe Pleasant.
And he also made the free throws when it counted.
He made the free throws.
He's a 58.8% free throw shooter, has the timeout to sit there and think about it, and just coolly walks up there and knocks down those two.
Swishes the first one. The second one rolled in.
Rattled a little, but it still wasn't dicey. Like, it wasn't ever shaky. So Yeah, you give them credit. They were everything that I think that people in the know, we're hyping them up. We're talking about how good they were, and I think it's just amazing to me that they were able to dictate and do exactly
That's the
what they
thing.
wanted to do.
That's the thing. It's not, oh wow, Abilene Christian played well. Surprise. No. Every team that makes the tournament is good. Period. That's just how it is. I mean, even, Georgetown got blown out, but the way Georgetown played, down the stretch at the end of the regular season, that was kind of how they should have been playing all year. I mean, I'm not going to start breaking down all these other teams, but I'm just saying, like, these teams, are all good. You don't get here, by just a fluke. And so, but the thing is the fact that Abilene Christian was in control. They were in control. They won this game without making a field goal in the last 3 minutes and 42 seconds. How often does that happen? Against a team significantly, like I said, not just height-wise, but just talent-wise. I mean, Texas has first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
They have guys that, you're going to be seeing and hearing about for a long time, who are just developing right now. I mean, they're going to get way better, down the line. And Abilene Christian, they just were able to pull it all together and dominate Texas on the, as far as, just taking them out of their game, just forcing them into doing a whole bunch of stuff they didn't want to do. And they just did just enough on the offensive end of the floor to hit a shot at the right moment or make their free throws, of course, at the right moment.
Yeah, and we talked about this. Matt Coleman had turned into just the guy that needed to do everything. Ramey at times during the year had come out with that swagger, and I like Ramey when he has that attitude, when he plays kind of angry. He's got kind of some nastiness to him, and he'll jaw back and forth with the opponents very, very visibly. I felt like tonight that they didn't have any confidence. It felt like that they got that Abilene Christian started zapping them, and almost I'll go way down into storytelling session. I interned at ESPN Austin, and I interned with Sean Adams, who died a couple of years ago. He's an Abilene Christian. He played at Abilene Christian, played football there. He said this term once, and I've never forgotten it. He said he calls it lemon booty.
Yes. Oh, why did I know you're going to say that? I don't know Sean. I didn't know Sean Adams or anything. And I was in my head thinking, is he going to say lemon booty?
And I never heard that before until Sean Adams said that on radio when I was an intern 14 years ago.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me I was like, wow, that is just like the perfect description of like in a like any kind of game where the team pressure and the pressure switched completely to Texas midway through that second half when they just started getting frustrated and were not creating anything. And I just felt like there wasn't an offensive guy out there for Texas that said, you know what, I'm going to make them stop me. I'm going to assert my will. I'm going to take it through me. If we lose, maybe Matt Coleman did try that, and he had one of the worst games that he's had in several years. But I think we talked about there was just never an offensive guy that stood up and said, all right, enough is enough. I'm going to make the shot, and let's get this thing going.
So Andrew Jones kind of tried to do that at the very, very end, kind of tried to, do something. But that needed to happen earlier. And you're right. I mean, you could feel it with about like 5 minutes left. I know, like just watching, I could just feel the tension, in the arena. Even though we're just watching on TV all the way here in Austin, there in Indianapolis, but you could feel the tension, and especially when Texas had the ball. I never got that vibe when Abilene Christian had the ball. I got the vibe when Abilene Christian had it. They were like, okay, look, it was very like clinical the way they were approaching. They like, this is what we need to do. We just keep doing these things, we'll be okay. Even if it doesn't work out, even if someone, just throws up a wild three and it just hits nothing but backboard, you have the feeling that they felt in their minds they were going to be fine. Texas, when they had the ball, I could just feel like they were like, okay, don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up. There was a lot of that going on. Of course, we're just talking. We're not obviously out there on the court. Yeah. But, we're on Facebook. We got to talk about something.
Well, we'll say that.
You can just feel that, though. You can just feel the tension. They did not feel like a team that just knew that at any point they could take over because they have more talent and win this game. They didn't feel that way.
Shaka and Coleman in postgame said that they were nervous to start the game. That that the team looked nervous, and I don't think that they ever really settled in. The question wasn't directly asked, "Hey, well, did you feel uncomfortable later?"
Right.
But it was pretty obvious.
And just quickly, what I would love to know just what it was that made them feel so, nervous at the beginning. Why? You go into the tournament winning 6 in a row, obviously conference tournament champions, beating a team like Oklahoma State, who is obviously they're no slouches themselves, right? Why be so nervous? Why are you so nervous, at the outset of this game? And especially after that dunk from Jericho Sims, that if there was ever a time to go, all right, that's the time right there. You get through the defense, dish it off to Jericho Sims for an easy dunk. That should have been a huge tension reliever. But apparently it wasn't, or it wasn't enough of one.
It's hard to think that anything that this season is a success, that it's...
And that's what's so wild. Think about it. At one point, Texas was ranked in the top 5.
Yeah.
They, they stayed pretty much consistently in the top 20 all year. Even after the COVID break and the loss to Oklahoma, they were still, they didn't drop far from that at all. And then they were able to pick it back up and go on a roll. It's just mind-boggling that we're sitting here talking about a 1-point loss to a 14 seed, even if that 14 seed is a team that forced the most turnovers in the country, Abilene Christian. Again, no shade of them or any of this.
No.
And I know that, I know that Abilene Christian, as well as several other schools, fans of schools, are getting a whole lot of jokes off right now because everybody loves to see Texas lose. But I just didn't think we would be talking about them losing this game tonight, and certainly not in the fashion. If Abilene Christian had pulled a Villanova, 85 Villanova, and just hitting crazy shots, shooting 90% in the second half, and it just was one of those things where they had the ball last and they were able to make it happen. It would be, I think, it'd be very frustrating, I'm sure, for Texas fans. No doubt, a loss is a loss, but that didn't happen. This was a winnable game for Texas.
That run in the second half, they were throwing up some wild shots that were going in. It obviously wasn't it wasn't where they were shooting a high percentage, but some of them are you kidding me that's going in? But yeah, that's the blessing and the curse of the tournament. I always put it at the barometer of, well, if a team that I'm watching or observing, as long as they don't do anything embarrassing to their program, then it's probably okay.
Right.
To me, this is embarrassing for Texas.
I don't blame you for thinking that. I think that's a word that Texas fans I've seen all over Twitter have been throwing around, among others that I will not repeat on here. Embarrassing is a thing, and I know at the end when Pleasant got the opportunity to shoot the free throws on the foul from Matt Coleman. I know that probably was a foul. Probably was a foul.
Yeah,
but
it was.
This wasn't because it was a foul. They didn't lose because it was a foul. They lost because of all the stuff they did.
No, I don't.
This is not one of those things, I believe, where the refs robbed anything from Texas. It should not have came down to that. And that wasn't such an egregious call where you could just have to say, "Oh my goodness!" Even though Texas struggled, that was such a bad call. It wasn't a great call. I don't think. I was definitely, but you know what? Hey,
he was making a shooting motion. Whether he was actually going to get something off,
yeah.
I don't know. But yeah,
it's not that egregious of where you just go, "Oh my goodness."
It's a matter of if someone was actually, instead of ball watching, if you're trying to block out, then which offensive rebounds again, then that situation isn't going to happen. I do always try to put it into football perspective. To me, making the NCAA tournament, it's like getting to a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to a bowl game, if it's a bottom tier bowl game, isn't good enough in a Texas athletic program, Texas football program. Getting to the second weekend to me is like getting to a New Year's Six kind of game, which to me signifies a a good season. So anything other than that is almost at Texas should be expected. So that's why I say by getting to the tournament at this point that's like getting to a bowl game. That's the base foundation to me, and then you keep advancing. Then you can start defining it as a successful season. And
especially when you're conference tournament champions.
yeah. You win the conference.
Especially when you throw that.
We can get into a whole different debate on conference tournament. I don't.
Yeah,
I despise. I don't think
no,
that
for
it's.
sure. I don't either. But I'm just saying, that's technically some. That was some hardware that they took home.
Right.
And again, when you do something like that, you go on that run, you do not expect to bow out in the very first round especially when you're a 3 seed. You're one of the top 12 teams in the country. The NCAA considers you, the committee considers you, and you lose a game like that in that fashion. Just
Also,
credit to the ACU.
So now in the region, in the bracket, if we're just looking ahead, you've got Alabama, the 2 seed, and then you have Abilene Christian 14, UCLA the 11, and Maryland the 10. One of those 4 teams is getting to the Elite 8. Obviously, Alabama would be the favorite there. Which, when you looked at this region, it looked like, okay, this was the one that probably sets up for some chaos, with Michigan as the 1. But let's leave it at that. It's 143.
Okay. Yeah.
But we'll have plenty more coverage.
Last call here.
It is. We'll leave it at that. Plenty of coverage on KXAN.com and, of course, on KXAN News tomorrow morning and throughout the day. Texas, again, loses to Abilene Christian 53-52. Only the 22nd time in NCAA tournament history that the 14 seed has upset the number 3 seed. Lots of questions going into the offseason for Texas, and they'll have a lot of time to think about just a really disappointing game against Abilene Christian. So for that, everyone enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, Sunday morning, and we'll talk to you guys later.